welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host as always, Cammy. I got a big announcement at the end of the episode, so let's get right into the show so we can get to said announcement. So the pick of the week from Image Comics, we have Turf number 3, written by Jonathan Walsh and art by Tommy Lee Edwards. Now, I've been a fan of this series ever since issue 1 because it was such a unique concept of having, during the Prohibition era, gangsters, aliens, and vampires. What? Yes, and it's fun, especially with the gorgeous Tommy Lee Edwards art that you see page after page after page. And, okay, in this issue in particular, the Dragonmere family needs to expand. They need their leader, Gregory, to rise to power, but in order for Gregory to become the leader, he has to vanquish his brother, Stefan. And so that's what they do. They defang him, and then they stake him out in the front, waiting for the sun to rise to destroy him. Meanwhile, the reporter Susie is trapped in the dungeon / pantry, and she manages to escape, sees the situation, rescues Stefan from the flames as they run to Coney Island to get him out of the sun. And while over there, he explains to her their whole history about where they came from, how they work, and why it's important to stop them from rising to power. And meanwhile, we have Eddie and Squeen, who are giving each other's histories, and they find out that they have a lot. It's kind of like a mind meld, but they have a lot in common, the way they grew up and the way they are now. And Squeen was running guns before he crash landed to Earth, and they need a fuel source to get him out of here. And it seems that it's alcohol. I'm not 100% sure it's alcohol. That's what the ship runs on, but that's what they are after. They go see this one guy, Reverend Kane. He doesn't really trust them, says, hey, I know about this whole vampire menace, and I'm thinking I might even join with them, but I got one of them locked downstairs if you want. And so this whole issue is packed with just 3 separate stories going on. You're having fun, I'm having fun. If you're not picking this up, I don't know what's wrong with you. This is going to read well and trade, but in the meantime, these issues are such a blast to read month after every couple months. Now on to the Fast 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
First up from DC, we have Superman, Batman, number 77. Now we get a team up in this. We have Supergirl and Robin, and Damian Wayne Robin. So you know there's going to be some snarky dialogue. Basically, a bunch of LexCorp students are found dead from heart attacks. Supergirl wants to know what's going on, so she finds the best detective in the world, who is off doing a mission, and Tim's not there. She's left with Damian, and so yeah, sure, they'll team up, even though he keeps referring to her as Alien and not Supergirl. Well, they go undercover at this one Halloween party and discover that not the Joker, but the Scarecrow was making everyone scared shitless and having heart attacks because of it. He is getting back at Lex because Lex took away his yellow lantern ring, which the Scarecrow loves so much. And me as a fan, I love seeing that the Scarecrow had a yellow lantern ring. But anyway, that's his revenge. The Batgirl and Robin's, they save the day. And it turns out that Robin has a little bit of a crush on Batgirl. So it's a nice, calm little crush, and doesn't help when Dick is being a dick and giving him a hard time for it. But that's a good team-up issue. You don't need to read this in continuity. Just pick it up, enjoy it. Pass it on to a friend. Next up from Image, we have The Walking Dead number 78. Now, there's a lot of talk of The Walking Dead, especially in these past couple of months with the show debuting next weekend. And let me tell you, I've seen the first episode. It is fantastic. That's all I can say about that. Tune into a Geeky Talkie for more. But anyway, in this issue, there's an outside group who really want into the community, and they're willing to go guns a-blazing into it. Well, Rick has to explain to them all at the gate because everyone's on high alert now. As soon as you hear gunshots that aren't yours, you gotta be on high alert. And the zombies are eventually gonna come anyway from all this gunfire. So, tries talking the guy down, but they say, no, we want in. We're really good people, but we're desperate and we need to get into this little community. Thanks to Andrea in the sniper tower, well, in the bell tower, she blows them all away with her sniping skills. And because of this, Rick is seen as a great leader to put in charge, from Douglas especially, because it was his decision to put her up in the bell tower. That decision probably saved them all. So anyway, there's kind of a whole mindset that Rick's going to be in charge again, which, as we've seen in the past, he doesn't want to do, and now they might have an uncontrollable zombie apocalypse approaching them because of all the shootouts. But it was a good issue. People hopefully will love this series and get interested when they see this show. Let's just hope and pray. Next up from Icon, we have Kick-Ass 2 #1. Now, this is the balls to the wall. This is Mark Miller and John Romita Jr.'s return to the Kick-Ass series. We have Dave again, still getting his ass kicked by Mindy. He's trying to train every day, every week. Not really helping him, it seems, but when he's going out on the streets doing nightly patrols, it seems to come in, well, against thugs at least, his skills come back to him and he knows what to do. Mindy is trying to live a normal life, not being Hit Girl anymore, and Marcus, her caretaker slash kind of dad figure, really does not want her to keep training Kick-Ass. He wants her to be a nice, normal little girl. At the end of this, we'll get another glimpse into the future like we did in the first series of what's going to happen between Red Mist and Kick-Ass. So there's going to be a huge villain superhero battle in the streets of New York. Can't wait to see that in the movie. And then we get introduced to the Justice Forever team at the end, who seem to be inducting Kick-Ass as one of their newest members. So John Romita Jr.'s art is gorgeous, as usual, in this issue. That's the main reason I picked it up. That's the main reason I made it a Fast 5 pick. Just completely gorgeous! Where did that come from? Next up from Image, we have Guarding the Globe #2. Now, we get a new member, we get a couple actually in this issue, new member joining the Guardians of the Globe. He is from Australia, and he is Kaboomerang, and that's what he is. He's like Captain Boomerang, only they explode. And you'd think it might not be coming in handy for this latest mission they have, but Aqua Russ, who is the ruler of Atlantis, who we've seen many, many issues ago in Invincible, has a problem. Octobos is coming in and fucking up his shit, and since his kingdom's 75% of the Earth, he needs a little backup help, especially since he's not a fighter in general. So the Guardians go down, they defeat Octobos, there's a big underwater battle, but because they've defeated him, Aquarus looks like a shrimp in the eyes of his people, since they embarrassed him by defeating his enemy in front of the entire arena. So they stage a little thing where they have their shape-shifting Martian look like Octobos, and then it's up to him to defeat him. And while this is going on, Octopus is actually rescued by a Multipol, and he is inducted into the Order, which is this great big supervillain group that seem to want to rain destruction upon Earth and the Guardians of the Globe in a couple of issues. So, good issue. If you like the Invincible universe and you want something to read in between Invincible's adventures, pick this up. You're going to have fun, I guarantee it. And finally this week from Marvel, we have Hulk #26. Now we have Ross going up against the Technomorphs, and he thinks he's alone because Iron Man's armor is just empty on the inside. Well, turns out Tony is remote controlling the armor from, 20 feet away maybe. And he'll take care of these Technomorphs as long as the Red Hulk goes and destroys the source of the control source, which is this big dome-shaped building. And sure enough, as soon as he does that, all the Technomorphs are done with. But now they have another threat to deal with. There's 2 asteroids coming to Earth, and it's up to Hulk and Thor to destroy them. Well, Thor still has some bad juju against Hulk, and so there's a huge smackdown of Red Thor, like this, or Red Hulk, Red Thor, oh, he's sunburned. But he's just getting his ass handed to him by Mjolnir and Thor, and then Thor finally agrees to, okay, well, I guess, we can work as a team. So they go up into space, they destroy the asteroids, but this little black hole that put them in the Earth's orbit is not collapsing on itself yet. And the Watcher comes into play as he tells Red Hulk, listen, I'm only watching, I can't intervene. So it was Gabriel Hardman's gorgeous art that really sold it to me this issue. I mean, Jeff Parker's writing an amazing and fun story, don't get me wrong, but just looking page after page of Gabriel Hardman's stuff, just like, why can't I just read this for the rest of my life? Why can't they just be this team on this book forever? Can't always get what you want. But it was a good read nonetheless. Not a fan still of the backup stuff, so maybe if they just get rid of that and make it a $3 book, everyone will be happy. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, head on over to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there, you can read the book of the month, go chat on the forums, leave iTunes reviews, and listen to Geeky Talkie. Now for the special announcement, I will be at the Long Beach Comic-Con next weekend. It's a Halloween weekend. I will have a Halloween show up, not a regular review show, but if you want to donate to the funds of my, to get to Long Beach, get on over to the website. There's a little PayPal donate button in the top-hand corner, and you will get a prize pack if it is $10 or more. And talk to a couple of the other people who have gotten and received the prize packs. Good stuff awaits you. And then there will be another Drinky Talkie episode and day-by-day analysis of the convention itself. So, that's in my future. That's my big announcement. I know, you can't wait. Also, big shout out to Rising Sun Creations at rsc-online.com. They specialize in the best of U.S. comic books, manga, and collectible toys imported straight from Japan. All located at their Mission Valley store, if you're in the San Diego area, or online at their online store. And all the books I've talked about this episode, they will have in stock ready for you. Thanks again to being a sponsor. So that does it. I'm going to go mourn the loss. A god was slain last night. Mr. Brock Lesnar, unfortunately, did not pull through, and I am very sad still. So I'm going to go mourn that, and then hopefully go watch the Chargers win. But they're playing against the Patriots, so my weekend looks a little shit. Yeah, that's what it is, this shit. So until then, good night, everybody!